Friends, Pakistan is acquiring China's J-10. I've already made a detailed video about how Pakistan's aviation helicopter fleet was getting old. What did Pakistan do to address this shortage? Who did Pakistan make deals with? How did those deals end? And why? In the end, Pakistan chose China's J-10 helicopter, but on its own terms and according to its own demands, having China make modifications to it. This Chinese helicopter is considered a competitor to the American Apache helicopter, and Pakistan's possession of this helicopter increases the likelihood that, in a future conflict, this helicopter will face off against the Apache, or that it will have the opportunity to demonstrate its performance in a potential battle, since India also has the Apache helicopter. In this context, in today's video, we'll look at how China built this helicopter, what makes it special compared to the Apache, what features are similar, and what aspects are better. So let's start. The story of the Z-10 began in the early 1990s, when China felt the need for a machine that could stand up to the American Apache helicopter in order to enhance its military capabilities. At that time, China's Air Force and ground forces did not possess such advanced technology that could effectively destroy enemy tanks and armored vehicles in modern combat situations. Against this backdrop, the People's Liberation Army launched a local design and development project, which later became known as the Z-10. The process of designing and developing the Z-10 was quite complex because, at that time, China did not have access to the advanced technology that Western countries, especially the United States, possessed. Initially, China tried to seek cooperation from Russia, as its defense relations with Russia were strong at that time. Inspired by Russian helicopters like the Mi-24 and Mi-50, Chinese experts intended to incorporate some of their elements into their own design. However, in the mid-1990s, difficulties arose in agreements with Russia, which led China to decide to advance the project independently. During development, several prototypes were created for the J-10. The initial prototype was completed in 1997, but during testing, several technical issues emerged, including engine performance and the integration of the weapons system. Chinese companies, especially Chengdu Aircraft Industry Corporation and Harbin Aviation Industry Group, worked on this project. In 2003, the first prototype of the B-10 made its maiden flight, but by then, there was still a need to improve its design. After that, China acquired a turboshaft engine from Canada, which became the main power source for the Z-10. However, later on, China incorporated its locally developed WZ-9 engine, which became a symbol of its self-reliance. The final production of the Z-10 began in 2010, and it was officially introduced for the People's Liberation Army Ground Force. Its development process took nearly 2 decades, due to technical complexities and global sanctions that restricted China from importing advanced technology. Most of the materials and electronics used in its production were manufactured locally, but some components, such as the optical system and sensitive instruments, were influenced by Western or Russian technology. If we compare the Z-10 and Apache helicopters, both fall into the category of attack helicopters that are used against ground targets, especially tanks and armored vehicles. The Apache was developed by Boeing and McDonnell Douglas. It was initiated in the late 1970s, and its first flight took place in 1975. It was designed for the US Army, and its latest version is the AH-64 or Guardian, which is equipped with advanced technology. The primary purpose of both helicopters is to provide air support for ground forces, but there are significant differences in their capabilities, design, and manufacturing methods. The Z-10 has a weight range of approximately 7,000 to 13,000 kilograms, while the Apache's weight ranges from 5,000 to 10,000 kilograms. This means that the J-10 is somewhat heavier than the Apache, which indicates a greater weapons carrying capacity. The Z-10's max speed is 300 kilometers per hour, while the Apache reaches 293 kilometers per hour, making both equally fast. However, the Apache's flight range is 480 kilometers, whereas the J-10's is up to 800 kilometers, making the Z-10 more suitable for long missions. In terms of armament, the Z-10 is equipped with a 30mm automatic cannon, anti-tank guided missiles such as the HJ-10, and rocket launchers. Its weapon carrying capacity is up to 1,500 kilograms. On the other hand, if we talk about the Apache, it is equipped with a 30mm M230 chain gun, Hellfire missiles, and Hydra 70 rockets, with a total carrying capacity of 1,200 kilograms. Both helicopters have anti-tank capabilities, but the Apache's Hellfire missiles are considered more accurate and lethal over longer distances, whereas the Z-10's HJ-10 missiles are still in their early stages and their performance has not yet been fully evaluated in the field. In terms of design, there are also some similarities between the Z-10 and the Apache. Both helicopters are equipped with search and targeting radar systems, which enable them to operate even in the dark of night and in adverse weather conditions. The Z-10 is able to withstand attacks. In addition, both use a twin-engine design, which allows them to continue flying even if one engine fails. However, there are also some notable differences. The Apache's superior avionics and software systems put it ahead of the Z-10, as American technology benefits from years of research and experience. The targeting system installed in the Apache is more accurate and reliable compared to the Z-10. Additionally, the Apache has been practically tested in various weather conditions and situations, such as in Iraq and Afghanistan, whereas the Z-10 has yet to demonstrate its capabilities even in limited conflicts. China faced several types of challenges in the development of the Z-10. Initially, China also faced a lack of engine technology, which forced it to use the PT6C60 7C engines imported from Canada. However, later on, the domestically produced WZ-9 engine was developed, which provides between 1,600 and 2,000 horsepower. In addition, it also took China some time to develop the weapon systems, as it had to adapt guided missile technology on its own. During its development, Chinese experts were influenced by Russia, Europe, and the United States, but created their own unique approach. A major turning point for the J-10 came in 2012, when it was inducted into the People's Liberation Army on a large scale. Its annual production target was set at 20 to 30 units, reflecting its growing significance. China has also tried to export the J-10, supplying it to allied countries like Pakistan. Pakistan is the first country to include China's J-10 in its fleet. Another similarity between the J-10 and the Apache lies in their electronic warfare systems. The jammers installed in the J-10 and the Apache's and APR-48A system both have the capability to jam enemy radars. Additionally, both helicopters have measures in place to reduce their infrared signature, which protects them from enemy heat-seeking missiles. However, the Apache system is more advanced, which gives it an edge over the J-10. To significantly improve the J-10's overall performance and operational capabilities, China has diligently developed several new and advanced versions in very recent years. A notable example is the J-10M, which the nation of Pakistan is currently receiving and which is specifically equipped with much better, more powerful engines and a comprehensive array of advanced weaponry. This particular new version also prominently includes highly advanced optical systems and significantly improved communication equipment, all of which truly make it remarkably competitive with the formidable Apache helicopter. However, despite these considerable advancements, The J-10 still noticeably lacks the extensive and invaluable kind of operational experience that the battle-proven Apache has accumulated over many years of active service.